So if you want to go and get started, we can kind of go slow. I can start out by kind of recapping what we did last week on the call. That way we can kind of transition pretty well. Um, so last week we mentioned when it was me and Patrick Patrick and I, that we kind of gave more in-depth examples of how to use your referral code and different ways you can keep it on your phone and how to quickly transition from communication about products to using your referral code in a kind of timely but also not salesy manner.
Was that your summary?
Yes.
That was a great summary, Dylan. Um,
Also, we might want to end with what you just talked about though, because we can do a fun thing.
well, so I we will we'll do the fun thing at the end. I want to give some basic stats just to start to kind of give some shout outs though without going too in detail.
Right.
So I want to keep everybody in the loop for the growth challenge because one of our goals for this growth challenge is to keep you on the loop about how people are doing. When Clayton, Dr. Ram, and Ted were in Schweinfurt, you all had asked that we be a little bit more transparent and kind of share more news. And so I'm going to try to do that. So we are at the end of October, where we ended our first month of the growth challenge, and we had 2,275 ambassadors grow with their level 1 volume, which is amazing. So in October, over 2,000 ambassadors grew with their level 1 volume. And then we had 1,067 people grow with their level 2 volume. So all in all, that is a ton of growth. I think we can say the first month of the growth challenge was a success. And so we're very excited about that. So far, we have 18 people on track with level 1 to get to qualify for the cruise. And we have 7 of those who are set to qualify for the free room. So 7 people are set to qualify for the top level right now, which is amazing. So a lot of growth, a lot of people on the cruise, but as HQ and really Patrick, we wanted to do something else to help you all have an easier time to grow as well, which that kind of leads us into our focus today is what the special is that we are running in November for RPS members. And so I'm curious if anybody has caught what that special is that we were doing for RPS members, and not you, Dylan. I want someone else to answer. But has
Okay.
anyone either in the Platinum group or the Root HQ? I see Juliana raising her hand.
Yes, hello. Can I
Hi.
say?
Yes.
Hi. No shipping costs.
For the first order. Yes.
Yeah, it's a first order. Had to
And
continue.
so, exactly. And so, thank you for sharing that. And I wanted to let someone in the audience share. So that's awesome. And so, that's going to be one of our focuses today is to go over how you all can use that to help grow and just how huge that is. And so, for anybody that hasn't heard yet, in November, anybody that signs up for an RPS or re-signs up, so it can be an old RPS user who canceled their RPS, but if they re-sign up for RPS, they get free shipping for their first order. And so most of you all will know that normally with RPS, the first order you have to pay the $11.95 shipping, and then after that, the second, third, and fourth you get free shipping. But for November, if anybody signs up, they just get free shipping the whole time. It starts right away. And so that is huge for you as ambassadors to, one, get new people to join, because that can be your selling point is, hey, we have this new offer that is only for the next 28 days. And then also, I think this is a great time to reach out to your old communities or people you might have not talked to in a while or who canceled their RPS and let them know that they can restart with this amazing offer. And so, Dylan, I think that's kind of what I wanted to focus on at first before we went into a little bit more of the influencer side is how
Perfect.
people can use, their WhatsApps, their socials, their emails to do good outreach to tell people about this offer.
So first off, I would like to mention that if you go into your back office in the statistics, you can check your level 1 members. A really easy way to do this, if it's older members that you haven't seen purchase in a while, maybe people who were never even on RPS, you can send them all messages at the same time. You could BCC them so they all get different messages. Um, what I would do and we've done in the past for people in communities is making a blanket statement email and just letting them know what the deal is. The cool thing about RPS is, as everyone here knows, it's a free account. A lot of people think that when they first join, RPS is not free, that RPS is like a Amazon Prime subscription that you pay a fee for. That's why you get the benefits, the $50 coupons, the $100 coupons, the $150 coupons. But now everything for this month will have all free shipping, all free account, and plus it'll sign them up for those, as we know, monthly benefits that you get. So if you word it correctly, there's no reason for someone not to join RPS, which will immediately impact your level 1 and level 2 growth from what Duquesne mentioned from the first challenge. But it's pretty insane that you're getting such a good benefit for joining RPS and you get the $11.95 free shipping automatically. That's a discount that even if someone, and I don't want to word this like this, but as a company, you guys should know this. You can say you can get free shipping on RPS. They could cancel the RPS whenever they want to and just make a normal order. They still get the benefit of losing $12 on the order. But most likely, since everyone loves our products and we have an 87% sticky rating, once they produce that first order in the system, they get their products within 5 days. They'll probably start taking those products. Most likely, what they'll do is they'll actually increase their RPS order to another product once they see how good the other products are working for them.
And so I wanted to give you all a little insight, just so as ambassadors, you kind of have this in your head. Our average order for RPS is about $138 to $140. And so I think that's important for you as ambassadors to know, because you can think in your head, look, some people might only get $75, but if you get 10 people, chances are half of them will spend over $135. And so I think that's good for you as ambassadors to keep in your mind, so you can kind of plan out what your commissions will be. Maybe if you want to invest into really pushing this out. It's also important for you all to know, because if you think of that in the growth challenge mindset, so if you have 10 people and they average $130 and you get 2 new people to do, or 10 new people to do RPS, that's 1,300 points that would go into your monthly growth challenge.
Do the math, baby.
Uh-huh. And so thank you, Ted. I'm glad you showed up for the excitement. So it's almost like Ted created the growth challenge and then Patrick did this RPS special on purpose, which is exactly what happened. Because if you all as ambassadors use this RPS incentive, you should be growing automatically. And so Ted and Patrick, and then the rest of headquarters just made it, they put it into practice. But Ted and Patrick designed this on purpose so that this RPS incentive would really help you all as you do this growth challenge.
Can I be Clayton for 2 seconds and like kind of tie a lot of things together? Because Dan had a great message, but also Debbie, 80% sticky rating. So we've been doing sales. We sold we sold out of a couple countries of the genetic tests. So people are loving that. If you tell your communities about the genetic test, one, that gets you points. They'll buy that. But the genetic test, as we all know, says what products will benefit that individual person specifically. If they get their genetic test answers back and they are already an RPS member, there's a high chance that they will actually increase their RPS cart for those specific products. That $130 difference that Duquesne was mentioning will be pretty low in terms of what people actually start spending. Now, if you take the fact that 87% sticky rating comes into play with that, people will keep using RPS. They'll keep getting those products, and they'll keep using the products that are set in the genetic test answers. Those 4 things all working together should be used as you as ambassadors as selling points and talking points. That's probably the best way to go about this.
Yeah, no, thank you, Dylan. And so we want you all to understand everything you have going on for you as ambassadors right now, because a lot's going on. And if you've noticed, the last 3 or 4 changes we've done, Dr. Rahman Clayton lowered the price of the genetic test by $250. They lowered the price of Environware significantly because of work they've done in manufacturing. Then what they did is TED helped institute this growth challenge to reward ambassadors again. And then on top of that, we are now offering a whole month where you all can sign people up and give them free shipping. Okay, that is 4 changes that have been made in the last about 2 months. And so I just want you all as ambassadors to really understand this, because if you're not using this to grow your communities, all these changes, all these discounts, all these incentives, then you're missing the mark. And so one, I want to give a shout out to the 2,275 people that have used this to grow. But I know there's probably another 2,000 out there who didn't grow at all. And I want to make sure they're using all these incentives, discounts, cheaper prices to grow their communities. Because when we grow, one, you make more money, which is amazing. But the most important thing is that more people are helped around the world. The more that people try the root products, the more people get helped. And then they will pass it on and they will help more people. And so right now, look, we're in 80 countries. There's hundreds of thousands of people who are being helped by the root brands. But I want to get to that number. And I know Dr. Ram and Clayton, we want to be helping tens of millions of people with the root brand products. And this is a great starting point with free shipping, the genetic test, and all these amazing offers to set ourselves up to be helping 10 million people in the next 2 years.
I don't think that there's ever been a time, D, sorry to cut you off. I don't think there's ever been a time where everything is kind of coming together. I mean, I was on the phone this morning with somebody in, well, they were in the United States, but they were asking about reinstituting their RPS because of the incentive right now to reinstitute your RPS. So like, I literally had to get on with them. I walked them through, I said what to do, X, Y, Z. And, next thing you know, they've got a $240 order that's coming through. And now and I explained to them, so now you're on RPS. The benefit is, yes, you got free shipping for your first one because they were an old RPS member. It's going to trigger again on December the same time. You're going to get an email. And I was like, but here's the thing. And I used it as a teaching moment because they were on RPS for a while and then they stopped because they got a backlog of products that they got lazy and they weren't using the products. I said, but here's the great thing. You don't need to cancel your RPS to get this benefit. You just need to change the products that you're getting whenever you need to. And it was like a light bulb went off and they were like, oh, I can do that. And I'm thinking to myself, yeah, Birgit and Klaus from Mallorca, how are you? So ultimately, this is the best time. Hey, Roland, you sexy devil, translate that. Tomas, how are you? So this is the best time that there's ever been en route to really begin the procedure with people going into Q4, going into holiday, having this RPS special, everyone being incentivized to actually grow their own business, because if you do, you get to go on this crazy event next year with us. So much positivity happening right now. It's a really great time to take advantage of some of those numbers like Dylan just said, like an 86, 87% stickiness rate, and get people involved so then they will stay involved as it moves along. It's crazy because we all think that we're dealing with so many challenges, but I was on a call this weekend and my question to the group that I was on the call with was that, have they done anything hard today? I mean, has anybody on this call of over 100 people actually had to do anything really hard?
Yeah, I had to wake up.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think we as a community are doing enough hard things. Claire has done something hard. I love that, Claire. Claire, tell me, if you don't mind sharing, what did you do that was hard? I would love to hear. If Claire wants to talk, maybe she doesn't want to talk.
I was looking for it to unmute. Oh, there it is.
But my push-ups, Sam Rapp, that weren't that hard to do this morning. My point was going to be to the community is we live very unique lives, especially if you're on this call every Monday from 12 to 1, which means that you're on this call from 12 to 1 and you have the ability to be on the call. I don't think we're doing enough hard things in general as a community. Because Paul, a gym day doesn't count as hard. That counts as a luxury. A gym day is a luxury. There's people out there in the world that are doing so many hard things. Our goal is just to literally share this and allow people the opportunity to talk. And if you get denied once or denied twice or denied 3 times, it's irrelevant, because it could be the 10th one, the 20th person, the 100th person you talk to that actually turns around, looks at you and goes, you know what? This is genius. I want to share this with every single person I know. And then you're like, wow, it took me 100 people. Was that hard? I would argue it may have been frustrating, but it wasn't really hard. I don't think we do enough hard things. I think we should all look at ourselves and be like, what can I do to make this happen? Because, you know, failure is not definitive. You've only failed when you've stopped. So keep failing forward and keep finding the hard thing to do and the hard person to talk to, because if that person recognizes you and has the conversation, it opens up a whole new world, and a little bit of momentum goes a long way. Dee, I don't know if you ever found Claire. If you do, I just jumped on and now I cut everybody off. I apologize. I'm going to go back to being quiet because
I did find Claire, so I'll ask her to unmute.
Ask her.
Okay, I have a broken front tooth, so it's kind of embarrassing. But anyway, yeah, what I did is I set up a blog with WordPress, and I haven't done that for like 10 years. And I had to go back in and figure out how to do it again. So I've got this blog going, but I have another blog that I wrote 4 blog posts, and I did a video, and I did a whole bunch of SEO on it. And I stayed up for like 24 hours doing all this.
I love that.
That's how my voice is all weird.
I love that.
So that's my hard thing I did.
Well, good.
So thank you, Claire, for sharing. So I wanted to challenge everybody. I feel like this is a Clay thing, and since he's not here, I'll do the challenge. But if everybody signed up in the month of November, 10 new RPS members, one, you would grow your volume by about 1,000 points. If we go by what our average is, probably over that. So that would help benefit your monthly growth challenge. 2, you would be helping at least 10 new people. Okay. And then 3, you would be adding, if we go off our average, you would be adding about $150 in your pocket automatically without looking at anything else by signing up those 10 people. So you're helping 10 people, you're helping earn the chance to get a cruise, and you're putting $150 more in your pockets. And all that takes is signing up 10 new people for RPS in the month of November. And I think it's very doable. And so I want to give a challenge, because sometimes I think it helps when somebody challenges you. Maybe get a whiteboard, get a notepad, and every time you add one, put that check on the list and work your way up to 10. And look, even if you end up at 7, you push yourself to get 7 more people. But I think everybody here could sign up 10 new people in RPS. And so keep that in mind. And that could be convincing somebody who left RPS to go back on, or finding a brand new person. But 10 people is what I'm pushing you all to do in the month of November. Dylan, I see you.
Well, I was going to say, it's not just new people too. I know a lot of people on this call have pretty wide communities. I know a lot of people on the call also know someone who has left RPS, maybe because they don't want to have a monthly subscription. Maybe they just haven't been on the company for a little bit. This is the perfect time with all the stuff we have going on, especially at the time of the year that people get sick the most. This is the time to talk to people about rejoining RPS and letting them know, hey, it's free now. For 1 more month, you have only 28 more days until you can say, hey, I get this free shipping. Afterwards, you have to pay for shipping again. Use that as a talking point of saying, this is the time to rejoin RPS now. Or for the first time, it's the only time that is offering free shipping. Trust me, when someone's told that they will not have free shipping ever again with RPS for the first order, it'll probably incentivize them to join this month.
So I'm going to regret this, I know, later on, but I am putting my email in the chat. And when somebody gets 10 RPS people, I want you to email me. And I want to see by the end of the month how many people have emailed me about their 10 new people for RPS. And so that is what I am challenging you about. If you email me about not 10 RPS people, I will be sad and upset. So please email me first about having 10 people but there is my email. And I would love for the end of this month to be able to say 50 people emailed me and they added 10 RPS people.
And Duquesne sending ROM roast to whoever does that.
Yeah,
By
there we
the way,
go.
by the way, let me tell you really quickly my ROM roast story. I haven't, sorry to bore everyone. I have not gotten a good coffee in so long. I've been traveling a lot, away this weekend, went to the campsite. Upset the entire time. My wife is finally stopping me after trying to buy all these coffees. And goes, why don't you just go home and let Mackenzie make you a coffee? Because the only coffee you like anymore is ROM roast. So Duquesne, that's a big, huge testament to you. When is the next brew coming out? When are you doing, what's going on with the next are we
So
doing a roast? Isn't there a new roast coming?
you're slightly spoiling a secret, but we have 100 bags of light roast coffee that is coming to the office in probably 2 weeks, and we will see how the light roast coffee goes. And then depending on how the light roast goes, we were going to get a sample of dark roast. Joy, I see your face there. I know that. Yeah. So we are seeing how originally when they did the roast of coffee, they could only get it mold free with the medium roast. They think they have found the way to do it with light and dark roast. So we are going to test that. And so we will keep you all in the loop. And yeah,
I literally didn't know that. I truly didn't
You're
know that.
fine.
Sorry, I didn't. I know that I'm on that thread, but I hadn't paid attention to it. So I'm excited to come to the office and grab one of those bags, though. That's amazing.
Yeah. So what we want to do with the rest of the time is we want to give you a couple ideas of how you can tell people about this RPS deal. And Dylan already told you one. So Dylan had mentioned reaching out to people already in your downline and sending an email, letting them know about this awesome deal. Dylan, I know we had talked a little bit about giveaways and stuff like that, but do you want to go into some other ways people could tell new people or existing people about this awesome RPS incentive?
Yeah. So first off, before I say that, I want to remind people that fourth quarter, for anyone who joins RPS,
Oh, yeah.
existing member, sorry, I want to put another cherry on top there. But anyone who joins is already an RPS member, as we've done for the past year. We are doing a giveaway at the end of the quarter. And as I said on the weekend report that Clayton loves so much, a juicy report I'll mention, the prize is picked out by Clayton this time. That means you should really sign up people for RPS because it's
That
probably
means it's money.
yeah.
Pete, we haven't announced it yet, but everybody knows what Clayton gives away.
Anyway, that's the last thing I want to say, because if you didn't have enough incentives to sign people up for RPS, the last one is we have a fourth quarter giveaway, and it's going to be a pretty good prize, probably of cash value. Okay, now we can move on to the rest of this topic. We talked about, and I did a little recap for anyone who was on here. Last week, Patrick and I mentioned using your links and your codes, but now we want to kind of tailor that to RPS and also working with influencers and working with groups, maybe practitioners of health, and how you can get them the same benefits you're getting as an ambassador to also grow your level 1 and level 2 sales. Going off of that, I just want to mention, we have an example. We have someone in the office who is working with our Ella Pure brand, and they're reaching out to influencers right now in hopes to get influencers to promote Ella Pure. As we know, Ella Pure has the peptide skincare line. So what I want to say is just mentioning, she is reaching out to influencers, smaller influencers, like 10,000 followers, maybe 50,000 followers max. That's pretty high, in my opinion, to see if she can get them free products that we'll send out, to sign them up to promote the products with a code for 15% commission back to them. So that being in mind, if she also mentions all the benefits of our RPS member, they can get the cleanser, the facelift, the reno monthly for free shipping now. So we can kind of go off of how to do more about that, but I wanted to say that one first.
Yeah, well, I think that's, if any of you have somebody who is very in your downline, who is very, or you yourself is very big on social media or is an influencer, or has influence on their social media, as Clayton would say, using that to promote the RPS giveaway is a great way to get the news out to maybe people who haven't bought the product. And so what this person in our office is doing is exactly what Dylan's saying. She can now use those influencers. She says, hey, you can get 15%. here's a special offer you can promote on your page. And that special offer is for the month of November, you get a free RPS subscription if you sign up, or free shipping for that RPS subscription. And so she is using influencers to promote that for the company. Bianca, I see your hands.
Gotcha.
Do you guys hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, this is actually something that I've been wanting to do for a while. I was looking to reach out to like various YouTube channels, but so the problem was often like companies will send out the products for them to try out, and money was tight on my part. So am I getting that you guys, if I like build something really solid and I send it to you guys, would you be down to like sending something, say the peptides or whatever, for YouTubers to try?
So no, no is the answer to that, where we very much empower ambassadors to do that. This person in the office, she is an employee here who is doing it, so it's slightly different.
Yeah, she's doing it
Now, I will say this was going to be part of our next thing, because I know a lot of times influencers want products, but one of the things you can do instead of giving products is giving them funds in their wallet and giving them a discount instead. And so we were going to share that this has actually worked pretty well. So Dylan's been doing a lot in the gaming space with Zero In. And so one of the things he's been doing is that he will send some funds to their wallet and say, hey, you can get a 25% discount or 50% discount, and I will put credits in your wallet. And then they use that to get their product at a discount. And then on top of that, you tell them they get 15% commissions. And that has been working really well in the gaming space with people who have like 1,000 to 5,000 followers. And so we wanted to give that as an example to you all of, if you are reaching out to influencers with 10,000 followers and they're not as receptive, maybe look a little smaller, because what we have learned is that in the gaming space specifically, and Dylan's learned this mostly, a lot of companies will only offer 5 to 10% commissions. And so in the gaming space with Zero In, they have loved the 15% commissions, just straight up. They don't, and then they learn the rest of the commission plan later. But just saying 15% commissions is a lot more than most companies offer. And so they have loved that.
So one thing I want to mention too, if you're reaching out to people, and this is something I've learned, and actually I told the person in our office about this, never start out the conversation about what you want to give them or what they will receive. Always start out by saying, hey, insert person's name here. I've seen your page. I've seen the influence you get, and I think we could collaborate really well with this product or this brand. Let it be open-ended, then start communication, and then offer, if we do work together, I'll ship you a product for free. Because obviously, if they're an influencer, they need to be able to show a product on their channel. Like here, I'm taking this from the Root brands, follow this link. A lot of influencers, if they're smaller, will work just for that free product. And obviously, if they're underneath you in the community, you're getting the benefits of the volume and the sales percentages. That first free shipment, then you open that communication up to the 15% commission. You don't mention it like they're an ambassador. You say, hey, you have an influencer code. You help them walk through that creating of account, and you say, this link, just put that link for this product into your homepage. As we mentioned last week, those links can be specific to single products, or they can be specific to single pages. For the beauty one specifically, if I'm selling this, I can link them to the shop all page, or I can go to beauty. So I think it's shop_beauty, then / their code. Anytime that influencer will put that beauty product on their market, that will bring the customer directly to that page for their link. That being said, I really want to stress out, if you immediately go to an influencer and say, hey, follow this link, sign up, you can end up getting 15% of all sales. You can get 10% of all sales from that person. You can get daily volume. They're not going to be responsive to that because they won't know what you're talking about. You have to basically walk this influencer, and trust me, I've handled a lot of people who did not want to follow through with anything because how confusing it gets. You have to break it down as an ambassador, signing them up to the simplicity of what our program is. You are talking to them to collaborate. You're talking to them about getting them product because you're signing them up for your sales. Get them that free product. Once they try the product and they like it, work with them on getting an account. and using that referral code for that link. And then they can be more open to doing the 15% commission, because that's all it is really. Do you get anything to add with that?
No,
Is
but
that-
I got a good, well, yes, I got a good question in the chat. And so this was actually the next thing I was going to propose people doing. And so often people will want either a discount code or some sort of incentive if you're a influencer and you promote a product. And so one of the things we have found works well is offering credit in that person's account if they purchase a product. And so, look, as ambassadors, you get 15% of first level and you get 10% of second level. You sometimes need to be willing to give up some of that if you are serious about running some of these promotions or growing. And so something I've seen that works really well is I saw somebody probably 3 months ago run a special for new RPS members. And they said, if you are a new RPS member, I will give you $15 back of credit if you have an order this month. Because in their head, they know that they're getting about that much money back when somebody purchases through RPS. And so what they are doing is they are waiving those funds for the first month to incentivize somebody to continue buying.
So one month of sales versus a lifetime of products for RPS, I'll take that.
Yeah. And so that is something that you all could try doing. That is a fun giveaway idea or incentive. You can tell people if you have if you sign up an influencer, you can say, I will give them $10 of credit for anybody that buys using your code. And you will work with that influencer to then move funds to their account after they purchase. And so that is a unique way that you all can, do some sort of discount, but it's giving them credit. And if you send them wallet funds, you will then get commissions. They have to use those wallet funds. They can't pull it out. The other thing you could do is you can use tokens as well. And so if you want to have the option to bring back the funds if they never spend it, then tokens is the good way to do that. And so that is something we have seen work really well. I saw an ambassador sign up about 15 new RPS members with doing that type of model where they said, hey, create an RPS. If I see an order processes this month, I will put $15 in your account for you to spend next time. And I thought that was very clever. That was a fun idea. She was only giving away funds that she had already received because they had placed an RPS order. And look, not everybody might like that, but if 1 out of 4 people do that, that's still one new person that takes that deal, and it's better than nothing.
Okay, real quick too, if I give just a customer underneath me $15 into their root wallet, what do they do with that root money?
They have to spend it again.
They spend that money on more product. So not just the RPS that you're getting that person on, but that $15 in their wallet most likely will be used for a different product, not even on the RPS. So think about that. That's a great one. Another thing with influencers, and I'm sure a lot of you've seen this when you're on YouTube, Instagram, X, TikTok, whatever. Influencers love to partner with companies to do giveaways. Giveaways are a huge asset to the influencer because they get to get more engagement on their posts when they give away. I mean, they get paid more on their social media posts, the more engagement they get. YouTube views and likes will relate directly to money. So, Bianca, you were saying you had a lot of YouTube influencers. Something you can do, which kind of remind me of this in the chat, because someone said you lose $199 if you give someone the free peptide line. But if that person loves the peptide line, which we've seen huge remarks on that, let's say these beauty influencers on YouTube, you say, here's the brand I'm promoting. Here's how you can promote it. You walk them through the steps I told you about. Tell them that you'll do a product giveaway of a $200 value to their influence or to their community. They promote the products. Let's say you do a 2-week promotional thing with them on their channel. That benefits them without them having to do anything. If you wanted to do it with your code, you can say you'll give the products for them. They'll actually be receptive to that without having any codes. Or you can sign them up for the 15% commission, so they're making sales and the giveaway. So it's two options with that. And all you would have to do for out of your own pocket is pay for the products. As an ambassador, the open-ended side of that is pretty much limitless. I kind of want to open up to questions with that one. If anyone has any questions about what I just said, and sorry, Roland, I know I talked fast for that one, my bad. So
you beat me to it.
no, sorry.
I want to leave it open for questions, but just a few ideas. When you are doing giveaways, several things you can have as part of the giveaway is enter your email on our landing page and be entered into the giveaway, or follow these 2 accounts. And one of those accounts is your social media, your Facebook or Instagram, and be entered into the giveaway. Another one could be make a free root account, not actually purchase, but make a free root account and get entered into the giveaway. And the last one can be make a purchase on this site and be entered into the giveaway. And so you all can do any of those 4, and you can rotate them every quarter and do a different one. And each of those have different benefits, because if you get 50 new emails, those are 50 new contacts you can reach out to. If you get 50 new people following your social media, that is 50 new people that are seeing your Facebook post when Claire makes a new website that promotes 0 in. If 50 new people see that, that's great. And then obviously if people actually purchase products, you're making money. So it's easy to give stuff away then. But yeah, sorry, Dylan. Like Dylan said, any questions about what we just went over?
It's a couple minutes. Any questions, please raise your hand. We can ask you to unmute. That way we can hear your question. Okay, I guess not.
I'm giving away your email, Dylan. If I suffer, you have to suffer.
That's fine. Oh, that's Fadwa, of course. You're already unmuted. Perfect.
How are you?
Good.
You might have already said this, so please forgive me if you're repeating my question, my
I will
answer to my
not forgive
question.
you. I'm
But
kidding.
this has been oh, thank you. This has been an answer to prayer for me, because I've been wanting to reach out to influencers. I've been wanting to reach out to really more providers, naturopaths, non-naturopaths, or what have you. But I always get, like, so for myself, I get emails about my website. They want to, like, up my SEO for my website, or I'll get emails for suggestions about how I can make my business better. And they come across so spammy that I like turn them off. I try to reach out to a guy who has adult care centers for Alzheimer's. And I reached out twice and I never heard back. So I'm just kind of wondering, how do we reach out without coming across so, I mean, is it spammy? Like, I'm coming out of the blue, emailing you.
So one of the things that I've kind of forced so first off, practitioners are a little bit harder than influencers, because sometimes they'll have sets of rules that they can actually, like, they'll need to have to make sure the products are verified. So the first thing I would say with that is make sure that they have the products. So sending a naturopath the products that you want them to talk about, I would not send the whole line, because obviously we have, what, 24 products now in our whole line. I don't think it's worth it. Pick 4 or 5 products that you think as a doctor they would need to look into, give them the information on it. What I do a lot of times with influencers, I make a whole 1 or 2 pager. Slow down. I make a whole 1 or 2 pager, so that way they can understand it in deep understanding what each product does. That way you're already sending it to them. My first message would always be, your shop is great. I love what you're doing as a naturopath. Here's the products I want you to have. If you give me your shipping address, I'll be happy to send these out to you instantly. Send the information to them afterwards. Then wait about a week, do a follow-up. And on the follow-up, just say, what do you think about the products? We've always heard great reviews. I would love to set you up with working with our company. That way you can benefit your company as well. You kind of have to go backwards with the people who are practicing any kind of medicine, because they need to make sure the products are valid first. I assume a lot of people get reached out to promote products in their stores. So giving them the products first with deep information, you're a doctor, you can easily do that. But giving them deep information of why the products help and how it can help their customers and patients. And then coming back to say, hey, what was your experience on our products? and here's how we can work together in the future. That's what I think would be the best way to do that.
I want to add 2 things. For those that might not have the funds to send entire products, I recommend getting sample packs, and you can send sample packs to them. And so we use black, like resealable sample packs, and we'll send those out with a printout of the product page so they see all the information. And so that's one way you can do it if you're kind of doing this on a budget. The second thing, Dr. Fadwa, I would add that going to their place, if you are near to them, actually going to their clinic or meeting up with an influencer if they're local at a coffee shop, or going to the business is always the best thing, because they can put a face to the name. And even if you're only leaving your contact card and, your name, that at least makes it better. If you ever reach out with an email later on, they at least kind of recognize, oh, I remember Dr. Fadwa. Like I can put a name to that face. And so that sometimes helps as well.
I actually have 2 examples. One, Zero In from Duquesne is a great thing to give someone who's trying to sell products and you want them to sell, because they can physically feel the difference in their body and their brain when Zero In hits them. So that's a great one to do sample packs for if you don't have the funds to send full products. So thank you, Duquesne, for that. Another one is coffee is very cheap. And with our type of coffee, a lot of businesses, even if they don't take your products, if they're a naturopath, a lot of those businesses will also promote coffee if it's clean and mold-free coffee, because how hard it actually is to find those types of coffees. My mom, for example, I've been trying to get her into the root system because she can't work too much with health conditions. She has been going to physical therapy for about a month now, and she actually bought 3 bags of Rom roast to bring to her PT sessions to see if they liked it enough to have them sell it to their customers or have the bags on their shelves. So I'll hear back for that later, but that's what she did. Some stuff that's easy for them to try will be great. Hope that answers your question, by the way.
Verena, I see your hand up.
Yes, I have a question, but I first would like to share my ideas on Dr. Fatwa's question. I mean, the way I've done it, and it might be different in Germany from the US, obviously, but I send an email to naturopaths, gives them some idea about the products, but obviously no name, that's clear, no company name, and ask them if they're interested in product samples, and for instance, if they do some form of testing like kinesiological testing or bioresonance or whatever. And if they do, then it's enough to send small sample sizes, like I just put a few drops of clean slate in an empty clean slate bottle. This is enough for them to do the testing on. Obviously, I mean, if they don't do this type of testing, then a few drops don't help. But if they do the testing, often they see that it's a great product. And the same, I mean, Restore is easy to sample, a few Zero In are easy to sample. But that has worked quite well. But I kind of asked them first for permission if I can send them samples, because I personally would find it a bit intrusive to kind of just, send them stuff and ask them to look at it. But this might be different from a mentality point of view. And the question I have is, if we want to email our kind of old customers, I mean, I know we can do the CSV export on the genealogy page, but we kind of don't, the results are kind of, you have in one line all the customer details, but is there any way that IT could space it out, that you have like the email address in one column? You see what I mean? If you do the export, you then don't get the information in different columns. It's just like the name, the username, the email address, one just after the other. So I'm pretty sure for an IT guy, that's pretty simple, kind of just space these type of information out, no?
We can ask them to do that, but the truth is, to get that updated in the back end without messing things up is not as easy as it might sound. We have a Tuesday meeting with IT where we can tell them, but to be honest, they are working on all the Black Friday and holiday sales, and that's kind of our priority right now.
Yeah, sure. Yeah.
Wait, you
Yeah.
can, sorry, before we
But
keep
it might
going.
be also
Wait,
something for the future. I mean, I export it to an Excel spreadsheet, but still don't get it.
wait, hold on. I think I can, before we keep going with this line of track, when you export the CSV, if you highlight the row of emails, you can Command C or Control C to copy all those emails. And if you just go back to your Gmail and you click paste, it'll automatically take those emails and put them into the email. I just did it and I tried it. So it doesn't have to be separate.
Yeah,
That
my
one,
struggle is rather when you export it into the Excel file that I have to select manual each email because it's not in a separate column, but perhaps I need to talk to someone who is fit in Excel.
no, here,
perhaps.
I'll show you.
Verena, if you do what Dylan just said, and you first export them onto the Gmail, and then you can place them on top of an Excel spreadsheet individually because you'll only have the information you're looking for. So if you're looking for that, that might be a way to do it. Dylan, am
Here,
I
got you.
getting that
This-
proper?
Oh, great. If you show us,
you see
thank
the
you.
screen? This, so if I just do this and I drag down, if it'll go, I can highlight whatever names I want. I can go in, I highlighted about 5 names. And can you guys see my email now?
Yes.
Does that make sense?
You probably should not.
I know.
Okay.
Sorry, I did try doing
I-
it fast enough to know to see my email, people. Okay.
I will try.
Anyway.
Thanks.
So yeah, the reason they did that in separate columns was so you could do that. They changed that so you could export manually and email everyone at the same time.
So we to leave a little time for the end, just a quick recap. We have the RPS special that is going on for the month of November. The challenge is for people to sign up 10 new RPS members or old ones that no longer do it. And so please reach out to me if you accomplish that. I would love to hear from all 122 of you all. We gave you several ideas of how to kind of use influencers or giveaways or other outreach to push out this RPS special. And so we would love to see several people use that on social media. I follow numerous of you all on Facebook. And so I always love when people use the ideas that we talk about and do it on their Facebook or their Instagram. I feel like Claire is always great at doing that. So shout out Claire. She has so many different websites or giveaways or like blogs she creates. It's really fun to see. And so we would love to see people kind of put that into practice after we taught it today. And then the last thing we wanted to do was we wanted to celebrate some of the people on this call who were some of the top growers for the month of October. So I think Dylan has the list of people. I figured we could do 2 or 3, Dylan, depending on who's here.
Yeah, let me go into participants real quick and just make sure that the names I got from Sam are still on the call. Okay. So I have one pulled up. Let's see. So what are we doing for the prizes before I put them on?
We wanted to give away 2, instead of giving 1 larger token, we were going to give away 2 $50 tokens so that people could give those out to maybe help grow their RPS numbers, but still get some commissions because there will still be leftover funds. And so we'll give away 2 $50 tokens to both of these people. So both of them will get 2.
All right, the first winner, little drum roll, is Gudrun Moorman. Let me see. I'm gonna ask you to start your video so you can possibly pop in here and start talking. There she is. Nope.
This is so crazy.
There
Hi. I'm
Hello.
sitting on the couch, and just in the moment, some seconds before you told this, I thought, no, please don't vote me.
Well, it was you, so congrats.
So
You
what I'm doing is I know I want I have enough money. I don't need it. I want that somebody who really needs this present gets it.
Well,
Do you
you can give
So
that
I
out.
like
So
to nominate somebody maybe, and I give it as a present gift.
yeah, so
I
we can
really
definitely
like
do
to
that.
do that.
If you want
can, I
to,
would like you to
Thank
give
you so much.
Yeah.
no problem. Just message us. If you could email either Dylan or I what their
A
name is.
number?
Yes, we can send it to them. So
A
I'll put my
number?
Yes. And I'll put my email back.
So how it's working now?
Oh, sorry. Do you have a specific person in mind, or do you want to give it to a random person?
Not really yet, but maybe I can. Maybe I have an idea. Maybe we could do it like I say a number in this
Yeah.
call.
We can definitely do that. So give us a number between
Yeah, it's okay.
1 and 5 first.
3.
1, 3. And then give me a number between 1 and 25.
23.
Oh God. 2, 3, 4.
I have can I have a Fabianova Andrejka? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Great.
Fabianova, I hope I just didn't mess that name up. Could you unmute and could you send me a private email? My email's in the chat again with your Root Brands email, and we'll get you the 2 coupons that were just gifted to you.
Ja som zapnutá, len I don't English. I don't speak English.
Sorry, could one of the translators help us out with this one?
That's okay. I'm on the translated now, so I have the English translator.
I am Czech.
Okay.
Yeah, so I can hear what you say. The Czech translator is translating it to
Áno,
English.
môžem hovoriť, teda ja hovorím po slovensky, ja som to tak veľmi pekne ďakujem, veľmi ma to prekvapilo. Teším sa. Vôbec som to nečakala, je to pre mňa príjemné niečo vyhrať. Ja som ešte nikdy nič nevyhrala.
Okay.
Awesome. So we're so glad that this could be one of the first things you won. And please message, if you email Dylan with your email, we'll put it into your account, okay?
Dobre, pošlem.
Yeah, I really like to say so congrats to Nadine. Oh no, what's your name, please?
Ďakujem. Andrea Fabianová.
Andrea, I'm so happy that you won this and I had this idea to give it to you. Thank you so much.
Okay. The last winner here that we can do some closing statements here.
Thank you.
Welcome.
So also I want to point out we had 3 possible names, but the number 2 I think got off the call. So she did not win. But the third option for the win, who's still on the call, Jorg Nowak. Hope I did not mess that up, but I'm gonna ask you to unmute.
Jorg! That's great news, buddy.
Dankeschön. Great.
Awesome. So yeah, you won our last one, and then again, if you could send me an email, we'll get you coupons.
Wunderbar. Dankeschön.
Awesome. Okay. I want to point out too, we are trying to do this as much as possible, not just for this call, but also whenever we have an RPS call. We really want to make it more engaging for the community. That's why we're doing winners who are on the call. Duquesne and I are not as rude. We will pick people who have their cameras off too. So, but I think this is much more fun when we can see people's reactions. Also, when people just like Gudrun who give away the coupons, that was very nice. That was super sweet. but this is just great for the community to see all this.
And I wanted to give a shout out to all the ambassadors. So the fact that so many of you all have grown last month is amazing. And so honestly, thank you, Root ambassadors. You all have done so much this last month. It's been great to see all the different ways that people have grown, the different ideas they've had. It's really fun seeing you all just come up with so many creative ideas to help share these Root products with people around the world. And every time I see a Facebook post and somebody new comments and says, hey, I want to learn more, that always brings a smile to my face. So just good work to the Root ambassadors. You all had an awesome October, and we loved to see that over 2,000 of you all grew and had a good month. So good work, everybody.
Awesome. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Awesome. I want to point out too, this was a great call. I know a lot of people were asking about how to talk to influencers, how to talk to other businesses like naturopaths that Dr. Fado mentioned. There's a huge market out there now for different select beauty, health, fitness. You can pick a market. You can find smaller influencers, and smaller influencers have more niche communities that are more likely to buy products anyway. Work with them on giveaways. Work with them on, Duquesne mentioned the RPS members will get $15 into their Root wallet. There's a lot of options you have to build your communities in fun and interesting ways. All right, if we got nothing else, thank you guys for the call, and we will see you next week.
Yeah. Bye, everyone.
Yeah.